says that I'm live, but I don't see it in OBS. Well, guess I'll just see how my PC handles having two streams going at once, but let's just make sure my mic's picking up this time. Last time I streamed, I did it with my mic not picking up anything, and it was a little sad, I'll be honest. Looks like audio's a little loud, so let me just... Alrighty, I'm gonna mute my desktop audio for a sec just to hear the playbacks. Actually, no, it's fine. No one's gonna be listening, but I'm gonna see what this sounds like. It sounds fine, I think. We can make the audio just a little bit quieter. No, that's too quiet. There we go, that's better. Alrighty, so the last dozen or so times I've streamed, it's all been hack and slash gameplay. That's because I've been collecting footage to work on a project, a personal project of mine. No promises that when it'll come out, but it will come out because I want to be able to commit to a project and see it through to the end. So this is going to be the first time, excuse me, in a while that I've done that. I haven't done that in well, not a long-term project in many, many months. So what's the point of today's stream then? This is primarily just going to be primarily a chance for me to yap into a vacuum, just get my thoughts out about what I want this project to look like, maybe do some writing. And I do my best thinking when I am doing other things. Nothing too intensive on the mind though, so I thought, hey, why don't I progress through Risk of Rain? Because I've played this game a fair bit. It's about perspective when I say how much I've played a game, because I don't even want to use the word casual because I sound like a no-life. I guess I am. Okay, to a casual gamer, an average playtime in a game for them may be like 25 hours tops. Maybe if they're playing longer form games, it'll be like, I don't know, 35 or 40 hours like God of War, right? There we go. Just had to tweak that audio for myself. But for me, a longer form game on my Steam library can go upwards of 80 to 150 hours. And it's not uncommon that my favorite games will get at least a couple hundred hours in them. If you take my top 5 favorite games of all time, they each have at least 500 hours in them. You can't measure this on Steam because one of those is Minecraft, but I'm pretty sure most people at least have 100 hours in Minecraft if they've played Minecraft, because a lot of people have grown up with Minecraft. But on top of that, League of Legends has taken a lot of hours from me. So is Valorant. Valorant's not nearly as much as League, but I wouldn't be surprised if I put at least 150 hours in Valorant. Anyways, I'm yapping in the wrong direction. Risk of Rain is up there as one of my favorite games of all time, even though it has one of the lower play hour counts. I think it's like 100 hours. It might just barely. I mean, I can pull Steam up here and check. Let's see. Risk of Rain 2. 220. Wow, that's a lot more than I thought. I don't take a lot. I try not to take pride in the play hour counts I have on games, but it was a lot lower the last time I checked. I guess I haven't checked in a while. But still only like top 5 on my Steam library, then maybe like top 7. Again, not saying this is a good thing, but just like trying to put perspective on how much I enjoy this game. But overall, not one of my most played games of all time. So my goal for today is just see how far I can get into Eclipse while playing Commando and yapping about that project of mine I'm working on, and anything else that comes or goes out of my mind. I don't think this will be a particularly long... I hope this won't be a particularly long stream. I'm hoping only to do a few runs, which will probably be... I'm hoping to make it like 3 hours max, because I have a lot of things I want to do tonight. I was supposed to be at work tonight, but I had chores to do during the day, and I didn't get to sleep until about noon. Going to a 12-hour shift on less than 6 hours of sleep usually isn't the best plan, and I was already pretty sleep deprived for the week. So I just stayed at home and slept in. Felt great waking up. Still pretty groggy, though, because sleep deprivation be like that. I won't be fine, at least until I sleep fine for a few days. But for tonight, I want to stream for a few hours, and then I want to do a little bit of writing, maybe get like a third of the way through the outline I've made for that project. And then I want to practice some musical instruments. The last of that planning I'll need to leave stream for, so that's why I can't push it super late. It's currently almost midnight for me, and I want to be asleep by at least 7 or 8 today. So I'm hoping to end stream after like 3, maybe 4 hours if I'm having a lot of fun. I wouldn't be sad if it ended shorter than 2, though. Anyways, that's a lot of yapping. How about I actually get into the game? Whew. That's the interesting thing. Why does it have that first screen if you're just gonna end up in here with the ability to swap between all this anyways? Locks me into difficulty 2, though. I can't scale it down. I guess if you wanted to choose a lower difficulty. The Hornet skin on Commando's cool and all, but I really do enjoy base Commando. I should try to go for that skin. Should I do that in this stream? I kind of want it. Oh, yeah. So, normally, for most characters, I'm a big fan of stock loadout. Like Team Fortress 2. You ask me what the best loadout is for most characters, and I'll say, I'll take stock. Oh, man. Love that. Love Lazy Purple. But for this character, I tried out Phase Blast and Frag Grenade, and these are fine early game, but I really just can't get over how nice mid to long range DPS the suppressive fire is, and how nice it is to have a stun. Because if you can drag your mouse fast enough, if you have good enough tracking, you can stun multiple opponents with one suppressive fire cast. Frag Grenade does really decent burst damage, but you're not really playing Commando for burst damage. If you want burst damage, you play... here's a good example. If you want burst damage, you play Bandit, or if you want burst damage, you play Railgunner. Maybe you play Void Fiend for kind of like burst DPS when you switch to swarms. But for consistent DPS, you go Commando. So I just personally prefer Phase Round and Suppressive Fire because they have more consistent DPS at long range. Because if not, your only way of doing damage at long range is double tap, and that accuracy massively falls off after your first few shots. Yeah, we'll run base Commando, and this looks fine. I think this will be good. This will be fun. Alrighty. Nothing. I almost want to back out of the game just to play it again. You know, I can do that. Nothing gets me more hyped. Now, just get into the game. I've edged everyone, including myself, long enough over this. But nothing gets me more hyped than that intro of Commando just sitting in the loading bay waiting to get deployed on the planet. So in this one, it's just the teleporter range is smaller, and we start at half health on each stage. There's a lot of things that pulled me into this game when I first saw it. I mean, this is one of the few games where I really experienced it on my own. When I grew up, I didn't have a PC growing up most of my years, at least not a good one. I say at least not a good one because like I had PCs on and off, but primarily like 90% of the time I was growing up until I was like 16 or 15 years old, I didn't have a PC. And I didn't get a gaming. Well, I got a gaming console pretty far on, but I only had 1 or 2 games that I really played growing up. That was primarily just Pokemon and Kingdom Hearts. So a lot of the games I experienced, the quality games that were the bucket list games, was primarily through YouTubers. I'm very fond of them because Let's Players were like the main way I got to experience gaming growing up. One of the best examples would probably be Markiplier and Jacksepticeye. So if you're looking for just like someone to experience a story with, you probably want to go for Jack. And then if you're just looking for a funny YouTuber, someone to just goof around with, that's Mark. But while Mark did play a little bit of Risk of Rain, and I briefly remember watching it, it didn't interest me much as a kid, because, you know, as a kid, I was like, do the funny, I was barely interested in the story back then as well. Too silly yelling at the funny FNAF game, Mark. But I do remember seeing him play it in a very early beta version. I revisited this video later after I found Risk of Rain organically. So I got to experience this game nearly blind, and almost immediately there were a few different things that pulled me into it. Now I will say, I did know there was a Risk of Rain 1, but I didn't start on Risk of Rain 1. I started on Risk of Rain 2, and I very rarely do that when I get into a new game series, but I've heard from a lot of different sources that Risk of Rain 1 was more of a project that was a proof of concept than it was an actual playable game. From a lot of people say it's not a very enjoyable playable game. It shows a lot of strong concepts for a full game, and that's how we scaled up to regular Risk of Rain 2. Risk of Rain crawled, so Risk of Rain 2 could run. I do not downplay the many notable improvements that came out of the game, but like, I don't downplay the foundations that game set for the rest of the franchise. That is to say, I haven't played Risk of Rain Returns, so I don't know how much it's improved, but I've heard that's a really good improvement from Risk of Rain 1, and I'm willing to give it a shot. Risk of Rain 2, though, things that pulled me into it. First of all, the art style. I am a huge fan of the art style. I love the art style in this game. It's very simple, but it's got a discernible style to it that you won't confuse for anything else. And at least nothing I can confuse it for elsewhere. Maybe I just have yet to see the hidden genre video game style that looks exactly like Risk of Rain. The music. The music was also really intense the first few times I heard it, but immediately there were things I could pick out that I knew I liked, like obvious one here, the Rain, formerly known as Purple, but also some of the DLC songs. Ari was the first person in our friend group to buy the DLC. When I tried this, I tried it with Vinny and Ari. Vinny got turned off to it pretty early, and I think that's just because he was wanting to play Schedule 1 more. And the way Vinny and I are, if someone tries to force us into doing something, we want to do it less. We can overcome that with mindfulness, but that's not usually our instinctual go-to. And because I was pushing him so hard to try this with us, he just kept pushing back harder. And as a result, he didn't get to experience a lot of it fresh with us, but he and I have been playing it a lot more lately. It's been a lot of fun. I'll take some movement. I don't think I need defensive yet. I need to get through the stages quicker. But yeah, when Vinny and I first got pulled into it, there's like that sense of wonder and all, like, what's going on in the game? Because Vinny and I don't try out video games nearly often enough to get that feeling. And when we did try out our first couple games, like Don't Starve Together, Terraria, and Stardew Valley, we overindulged in the wikis way too much and ruined the experience for us. I think you can consult a wiki from time to time, but for most games, you should try to experience them blind on your initial playthrough, unless the game states otherwise. Then it's a personal preference, not really. I think aside from the other stat sheet that I have to hit again, I got most of the stuff in the stage. And I really hope that's the case, because I'm trying not to spend too much time here and get outscaled. Another drone, that'll help. Oh, and a chest over there. Okay, I'll go hit these barrels, that chest, and then I'll grab I'll hit the teleporter, then I'll try a few more tries of that stage before I leave for the statue. I'm a huge fan of roguelikes. That's another reason why this game took to me so well. I like roguelikes. I like the music. I like the art style. Was it any wonder that I would spend another 200 hours in this game? Now, don't get me wrong. For a new player, it was absolutely brutal. I think this game, it's almost like Noida in the sense that even experienced players can still get absolutely god and not know why. I think there's a meme that goes on in the gaming scene about how you're a god when you get to stage 20 plus and then instantly get one shot 10 seconds later. But the gameplay loop is very satisfying. Like I said, I'm a huge fan of roguelikes. Put RNG and funny items into a game that allow me to make crazy builds, like Binding of Isaac, Velatro, Halted Lamb. These are the things I live for. The Halted Lamb's a bit lighter on the roguelike aspect. But then it's also a first-person shooter PvE. Now, I will say, FPSs, I'm not usually a big fan of. I'm not a fan of competitive FPSs, but if you put me in a PvE first-person shooter like Payday, there was a different one that was a better example I wanted to pull up, but I had to lock in for a second. You put me in a first-person PvE shooter like Payday or 7 Days to Die, give me a horde shooter and I'm all for it. The only way this game could be made better, in my humble opinion, is the addition of ragdolls. But you're player ragdolls, and you know what? That's enough. It does help when I get humiliated by the enemy to see my body do a really, really funny pose. I wonder if when I blow up that orb, it does damage to me. I have seen the Wandering Vagrant in... Oh no, I'm gonna die if I don't kill the thing. Yeah, dang it. No cover. That's rough. Oh well. Well, we run it back. Oh man. I'm really... Okay. First, I'm gonna finish up that previous train of thought. I love PvE shooters, so just like this game had a whole bunch of stuff that immediately from the get-go I knew was going to pull me into it. I've tried Risk of Rain 1. I love the art style and the creative concepts for the game, but the execution of it, as many of the reviews would say, was horrendous. It's so slow to clear, it's just unbearable to play through a lot of the time. It's kind of fun. Kind of. I would love to try Risk of Rain Returns, though. Ooh, this is a great start. All right, I've got a plan of attack here. I'm gonna go hit that Void Cradle, but I'm gonna hit the Halcyon Shrine, but I'm not going to finish it. I'm gonna use the immediate money I get out of it to get more items from the other places in the stage. That Tri-Tip Dagger for 25. That's not bad. It'll help me kill Halcyon a lot easier. Really, the only pain point you'll ever feel for doing this game mode is it makes these Void Cradles a lot scarier. That's a crazy pull. Okay, I saw a Golem up there, so I have to be careful, but I should be able to kill him fairly easily once I'm done. I made a little bit of art of the Stone Golem, and I'm very happy with how it turned out. I've been on the fence for a while now about whether I should link my YouTube account and my Twitter account. Well, it's not Twitter. It's Blue Sky. Because I'm a really big... Oh, were those butterflies? Wait, where are the butterflies? Because I really like seeing some other furries on that platform that are like, they're not exactly popular furries, they're just like furry content creators. And I really like seeing the way they interact with people online by just like streaming, sharing their stream clips and stuff, and then just like doing a little bit of everything. You know, you just see a person living their life, and they do some interesting things, and they like sharing it. They share it with other people. That's kind of like what I want to do with that platform, because that's what I like doing with my friends. If I could just do that with everybody, that'd be fun. I like sending random pictures of my cats that I take at 2 a.m. to my friends. I like sharing a little bit of art that I made, or a really funny thing that happened to me in a video game with friends, you know? That's what I want to do. Alrighty, so wait. I'm getting lost in the sauce. What's the plan here? I need to grab items. I can hit this twice. Once. Oh, we're so lucky. Who's the best to ever do it? Alright, let me think about this. Let's get a lay of the land. Okay, there's a multi-shop over there. I think Plasma Shrimp's got to be one of my favorite items in the game. Though ATG Missile Launcher, when I played with it recently, as opposed to Plasma Shrimp, I realized the missiles can hit anything, and that kind of gets me going more. Cautious Slug, absolutely. Necessary for that early game sustain. It's just really good in general, but I feel like it gets a particularly strong buff in the early here. In this Eclipse game mode. Double? Oh, well, it's fine. It's alright. Transport drone is okay. It's just CC. Tri-tip dagger is pretty tempting, but I don't see a scrapper, so I think we go hit the Halcyon Shrine now. Is that another drone? No. I saw so many people clowning on the Secret of the Storm update. I think that was primarily for when it first dropped and it's gotten better, but I was a huge fan of it. Of course, I didn't play with it when it dropped. I played with it after it was, quote, better, but I see a lot of people saying Alloy Collective is better. I'm like, I guess Alloy Collective seems to have added in more, but I'm still a bigger fan of Seekers of the Storm. I think it goes without saying that the Void DLC was fantastic. Alright, where's that Halcyon Shrine at? There it is. Alright, we're gonna hit this, and this, and that. Alright, this should be all I need for now. Oh my gosh, that's so good. I need to prioritize. There's childs already? I hate children. They make me a little uncomfortable in real life, but in video games, like, just hate them. Skyrim, unbearable. Risk of Rain, the worst creatures on the planet. I've died to them a humiliating amount of times. Probably not nearly as much as I think, but it stands out the most just because I hate how annoying the projectiles are. This is a really darn good start so far. If I keep up with this momentum, I don't think I'll need to loop once. Show yourself, punk. I could probably go do the boss. Yeah, I think we'll go do the boss now. I'll get enough money to finish that teleporter for that shrine. I think that's a crate over there that I already opened. I can try to ping it. It's gonna take too much time and effort to ping. Well, I have to get over here anyways. Maybe I can get a little bit closer. Oh, that's unopened. Okay, wait a minute. We're gonna take a slight detour. Oh, there's another unopened chest over there. I did such a bad... Wait, is that a chest? Unopened? I think I did a really bad job of clearing the side of the map. Alrighty, yeah. That's 2 chests. That's huge. This does give me enough time to finish charging up the Halcyon Shrine before the boss fight, though, so... That's good. Big chest, though. I don't like that. It's gonna take a lot to open. Jump scared me a bit there. squid polyp. See, now, I always hear Ari clowning on this item whenever they get it, but I'm a huge fan of squid polyp. Fireworks is better, but, like, I like any items that proc on opening or interacting, because you know how much interacting you do in a game? And it's a positive feedback loop for something that makes you stronger. It allows you to be more efficient when getting items, which means you can just scale faster, which means the enemies are overall weaker. It's just putting a flat debuff on all the enemies. Alright, let's try to do this. Yeah. Prayer beads is also a crazy tool. Love me some prayer beads. I actually started carrying a pack in real life just because of Ritual Rain. I found like a pair of, I found a bunch of prayer beads at work, like a little necklace of them. I tried to find out who they belong to, but I couldn't figure it out. I don't know if they got fired or what. So I've just been carrying them around on me. And I feel like I'm just going to hand them off to Vinny or Ari one day, and I'm going to feel a lot better after doing so. Spent a bit longer on this first stage than I'd like, but I have 12 real items for it, so I think that's a... I'm going to have actually 15, so I think that's more than worth. Actually, wait, what am I doing here? I don't have to finish charging this teleporter. Well, I guess I might as well now, but I just have to go kill Halcyon. That's the timer. I don't need to reactivate it manually. It's going to reactivate on its own. Then a portal will spawn after he's dead. Now, this is a concerning amount of enemies I'm seeing. I love Sling Grenade on Commando so much. Alright, let's hope I don't die trying to open this. I think Luminous Shot would have been better, but I was too panicked. Electric Boomerang? Another stun and another on hit. You love to see it. Now that we're at the start of another stage, I can yap a little bit about Devil May Cry. So like I said, I've been working on a project, and that project is hopefully going to be I say short form to the ones I consume. It's going to be a shorter style video essay, maybe like 10 to 15 minutes long, depends on how much yapping I do in it. It's going to ask a few different questions, but the focus of the video is going to be hack and slash. Just a few questions I had that I asked when I got introduced to the genre, when I discovered the genre even, and then the answers I got for those questions, and my expectations with the genre going forward. So for context, and this is also going to be in the video, I believe, is that when I was very young, I didn't have any video games that I got to play growing up. But one that left an impression on me that I did get to play was a game by the name of Kingdom Hearts. I didn't know about different game genres at the time. I'd only ever played like 3 games. One of them was Pokemon for the DS, and then the other one was Kingdom Hearts, and then the third one was a game I can't even remember because it was that unimpressive. Some dollar store game for PlayStation 2. But I digress. Revisiting the gaming scene years later, when I was like 16, when I built my first PC, I got to experience many different types of games. And I started learning what different types of genres of games were, what I liked, what stuck with me. And turns out I like a lot of everything. But one game genre that I started to recognize, I didn't have a name for it yet, but I played a new game called Hi-Fi Rush, and it reminded me a lot of Kingdom Hearts. My neurons in my brain started connecting, and I realized, wait a minute, I've seen this before. So what did I do? I looked into it. What is this genre I'm experiencing? What are the common elements? Turns out it's a genre by the name of hack and slash. And I'm just all intrigued. I'm nothing of intrigued at this point. So I look into the genre. I look at like the top 5 games on Steam for what are in the hack and slash genre. I buy them and I've been playing through them. And this is where I was at about a year ago, because this has been a thing going on for a while in the background. I started Hi-Fi Rush like 2 years ago. I started Hades next, and Hades was a gorgeous game. Even if you're not a huge fan of the hack and slash genre, I still recommend you give it a try for the music and the art style and the writing alone. It is a fantastic game. 8 out of 10 in my book. Just because it's not my favorite hack and slash combat system I've engaged. I'm going to revisit soon, but I have been playing. It is one of the more recent ones I've finished a playthrough of. So then, where did I go from there? I played a few other games that are in that action roguelike and kind of have a feel of hack and slash to them. Like, Cult of the Lamb reminds me a little bit of the isometric combat feel of the Hades combat system, but it's not quite scratching the itch of hack and slash, you know? But then I learned about one of the classic games that impacted, and it defined the genre to my knowledge. A game by the name of Hades. Not Hades, Devil May Cry, my bad. Okay, I'm taking a little bit longer on the stage. I should get to Kelly. How many items am I at? I picked up like 5 items since I got here. I need to do another quick sweep. I have plenty of money. So Devil May Cry was a very interesting one. Now, I will say, I am famous for my general incompetence. I am a button masher when it comes to combat games. At least I will say I was. When I started playing Hades, I realized this isn't Hi-Fi Rush. The game isn't going to hold my hand and make it easier on me. There were certainly times that were harder than others in Hi-Fi Rush, and I'm not saying the game was a breeze or anything, but for the most part, if you refuse to engage with the system, you could still come out the other side if you just tried hard enough. This was not the case with Devil May Cry. Devil May Cry had no qualms about beating you into the dirt multiple times until you learn to engage with their system. Either you play along, or you perish. And I don't think that's a bad thing. I don't want to be sounding like one of those jaded old heads that say, oh, games are too easy, and back in my day, things were better. But, it is very refreshing. Again, this might just be due to me and my personal preference in games and not playing enough hard games. I mean, the Soulsborne genres came to exist in my lifetime, but it was very refreshing having a game where you're not going to beat the boss on your first try. You're probably not going to beat the boss on your first 3 tries. You might if you actually play along. I saw Devil May Cry 5 memes, and this is why I entered into Devil May Cry franchise. Because I heard Devil May Cry was a very, very good game. I saw some memes for the 5th one, and it was a hack and slash. So I'm like, okay, this is probably a game that I should play for the experience, if nothing else. So I entered into that game seeing it as a chore. I didn't give it the time of day to even try engaging with the systems it was providing to me. I didn't know what the style meter was, hell, I didn't even know how to build it or what affected it for the first, hour of the game. But when I encountered my first boss, I was no longer allowed to just button mash and dash through rooms, just go to point A and to point B until the game is over. It was at this point that I was provided with a choice. I could either interact with the systems the game was giving me. I could play the way the game was encouraging me to do so, or I could suffer. That's a really crazy thing to see. I'm going to go hit that a couple times. If I can't find a scrapper, I'm still going to go hit that a couple times. Now, that's the interesting thing. I've not had a game do that to me in a very long time. It's been a while since a game has said, oh, you're bad at our game? Well, it's okay. You can still see most of it. This game said, if you don't attack the boss on his weak point, you don't progress. Well, how do you attack the boss on his weak points? You actually need to read his attacks and not get hit by a very heavily telegraphed attack. Oh, multi-shot. Another multi-shot? Wungus. Probably should have took the sprint drink, but if that turns into a Wungus, I'm very excited for Wumbo. Wungus. And I liked that, because this game was, first of all, forcing me to learn. That feeling of something being uncomfortable because you're doing it for the first time. The feeling of you have not perked into this skill tree as a human being, and you need to accept that. You need to accept you're going to suck for a while. I've been particularly avoidant of that feeling for quite a while in my life. I try not to do things that make me feel uncomfortable. And that's not a good thing. I think when you struggle, when you're in that feeling of this feels wrong, is when you're learning some of the most in your life. So, as I was saying, I'm rambling again. I did not give this game the proper time of day to properly enjoy it. I didn't give it a fair chance through most of my playthrough, and I do regret that in hindsight, and that's why I've changed my mindset when approaching the rest of the franchise and any new game I try. The thing is, I should never see a game as a chore. As a famous man once said, if the game's not fun, why bother? If I'm giving the game enough time of day to boot it up in the first place, if I'm not going to be engaging with it, what's the point? If I didn't think it was worth enough to engage with, it wasn't worth my time to turn on and load into in the first place. There are better uses of my time if I don't feel like it's worth engaging with the systems the game is giving me to finish playing it. And now, this is the next thing we come to. This game has a particular way they want you to play, a way that they think is fun, but they want to encourage you to play in that way. Well, how did they do this? They did it in a few different ways. The style system was a very interesting way of making playing the game the quote right way feel fun. They made it feel addictive. They made it feel cool to be good at this game. The better you were at this game, the more the game rewarded you. Because usually in a game, your own reward is just you don't get hit by abilities, you kill bosses faster, and you get through the game quicker. But this is the interesting thing about Devil May Cry, is they have a style system. What's the style system? Well, every time you damage an enemy, when you're in combat with an enemy, your style goes up. Makes sense? The style goes from a rank of D all the way up to triple S tier, okay? Now, style, primarily, is just a way of tracking your combos, how well you're doing in combat. You know, don't get hit, your style doesn't go down. Get hit, your style goes down in decent chunks. You damage to enemies, your style goes up. Makes sense so far. But this is more than just a simple combo tracker in a video game. This has an actual direct effect on your gameplay. The higher your style is, the more impactful your abilities are, the more damage they do. If you spam one ability in back-to-back over and over, it does diminishing returns of damage, and this is reflected by your style meter. Your style meter will actually start to go down if you don't do different moves, if you don't mix it up every once. Makes enough sense so far. Your abilities, to my knowledge, actually get bigger on some abilities, and your taunts. You can taunt in the game to generate double trigger, a resource meter you have, and also to up your style meter, your taunts will even change their voice lines and give you more double trigger based on how cool you are currently, how much style you have. Ooh, what is that? 57 leaf clover? I love it. I love luck. I do need to get a hustle on, though, because I'm already starting to get outscaled. I'm struggling this much to kill those guys, and I have 5 soldier syringes. I think Mocha is the play here. So, we got the primary questions that I want to ask during this. What is a hack and slash? My primary idea is to go in it with my own, like, caveman explanation of what the genre feels like to me. And then I'll compare it with the technical definition of the genre. Whichever sources I can find on, probably primarily Wikipedia, to be honest. And then with those definitions out of the way, I'll take all the games I've played that are classically labeled as hack and slash, and then I'll identify some, and I'll do some compare and contrast between different traits that they have. What are they alike in, and what are they different in? What clearly ties them to the genre of hack and slash, but then what sets them apart? What makes them worth playing? I think that'll be a fun couple chunks to have. And then there'll be like an intermission when I'm doing this compare and contrast, where I'll go through each of the games that I've played while on this mission to really figure out what a hack and slash game is, and then do the compare and contrast instead, like games, like have a little bit of footage of me playing them, my thoughts on each one, their systems, how they work, how they're similar to others, how they condition and reinforce their players, yada yada. And then, after doing some compare and contrast between all of them, maybe list what I think is my personal favorite and what I think is a pretty good representation of the series as a whole. That might be a bit much, though. I don't know if I have enough experience for that. And then just, I think that would be the ending. Just like, after going through each of these games, what makes them what are some of their defining hack and slash features, then what sets them apart from each other, end it all with what I think my favorite hack and slash is. That's just a rough outline so far, though, and it's very, very rough. I do have the components to make it now, though. I just actually have to write the darn thing. Because once starting anything is always the hardest part. Once you got something, you can work off of that. Where's the teleporter at? I need to get out of here. I'm losing so much time. I only picked up like 4 items though. Where are they? I don't like this map. Is that an adaptive chest? No, it's a 3D printer. I think I need to go down into the middle. Am I doing damage? Yes. Am I also taking damage? Yes. And I can't find a crate to save my life. Okay, they're suicide bombers. Got it. Dang. Well, it's not called easy mode. Was that my watch? I think my watch broke.
I don't think I have launch. Great some space. Where's my cautious slug at? Go off cautious slug. Yeah. Fungus, and now we get back in there. It's like training in Call of Duty Zombies, you know? This is disappointing. I got like no items on the stage. I got a sale start item, which gave me 2 of the items I have. And then I got a void cradle and then 2 chests. That is disappointing. That is really going to hinder the progress, the lead I got from the first couple stages. Alrighty, I know this map well enough though. Thank God I can basically perma-stun anything gets near. Oh, that's gonna hurt. 15 void creatures. Sheesh. That's a double void seed. At least that'll give me a lot of void items. That's gonna hurt. On the telly. Oh, that's a huge damage amp. I think I can go up there and put them on now. Maybe not. Already avoid jail. You're not jailer. You're one of the. I think you're jailer. Okay, there's only one void creature left, and it's one of the immobile ones. Okay. Very nice. Look at all these void items. Warped Echo, yes, please. Encrusted key? I do like that. Is this like a... Wait, is this the beetle map? Wait a minute. No, I can't. I was seeing other creatures, right? No, I don't think this is a beetle map. If it is, that'd be really funny, but I don't think such a map exists. Soldier syringe? Yes, please. More shields. Crowdfunded. No. Just makes me clear stages slower. So much void potential. Flurry potent lava. Larvae. No, it's larva. It's not a larvae, it's a larva. Prayer beads. Got him. Nice. I got health regen and damage. Not super crazy, but I'll take it. More damage is always a good thing. Damage to bosses. Oh wait, I gotta take out all the Voltrigs. I can get a legendary as well. I'll get back to the yapping in just a moment. I'm just trying to walk in and get the stage wrapped up. Don't want to spend too long here. I've been already spending way too much time on most of them. I could try to spend less. Movement, yes please. Eggs over here somewhere. Oh, and drones apparently. I think I clean up drones or items. Not proper items, but like health and stuff. Where are those eggs? Eggs. Big damage. That's great. It's so hard to tell which one of these are the Voltrigs and what are the mushrooms. 2 more crates? No, drone scrapper. Backup mag! I mean, if my phase rounds pierce through the map, if I right click enough, I'll hit them eventually. Listen, if you're just trying to camouflage them in the rocks, I hate it because it's working. I got a hopeful feather? I forgot. Roaring grows loud. Got it. I hope this was worth it. Give me something good. If you don't kill me, please. Not the worst. And I'll get one more item from the boss here, and then it's on stage 4. Not stage 4. Yes, stage 4? Wait, we are on stage 4. Oh, every map has a guaranteed legendary chest except for this one. This one just has a guaranteed legendary item from the boss. I gotcha. The secret boss. One Baker down. Let's kill some of these things, get my damage up from my item. Yeah, big damage. Old Guillotine. I love me old Guillotine. Oh, you... Oh, I get it now. You killed the elites. Oh, that's awesome. Oh, that's so funny. People level on. Thing is, I still feel like I'm going to struggle with Mithrix, is because I don't have enough movement to clear the... I don't remember what the name of the stage is. But getting around in that stage is going to be difficult, and so is going to be killing the big dudes. Please be Sprite Fields. I love Sprite Fields. I will not be sad with Helminth, though. Helminth is also kind of cool. Yes! Sky Meadow, Sprite Fields. I think there's a parent that just spawned in. Oh, another Void Seed? Yes, please. Wait, that parent sounds like he's close. I need to kill him. It's not grandparent. It's a grandparent, not a parent. He is. I need to focus on killing him before he kills me. Where's that son? Ramping damage, go! My tri-tips! I'm so lucky! There's that son. Kill him just before he can get it off, though. Out of more range, kind of scary, actually. Oh, but not when they fight each other. Oh god, he's getting stun locked. You don't scare me. Mocha, more DPS. Sheesh. Our voice sprite is tempting, but so is double damage. I think this. Because if I don't have an ally, that'll just instant me for a huge burst. Where's the place? It's not doing the thing where it shows. Maybe it doesn't happen on every map. Well, there's a teleporter. Ow. Meteor. Is that a drone? Don't mind if I do. Junk drones are pretty nice. Can't say no to more items. Even if they're temporary. Jeez. Let's do you in. I'm not gonna be able to do anything for a while. I'm rubbing my eye. Oh, wait, is that the void seed? No, it's not. I think this will be it, though. There we go. Void seed down. Any void potentials? I'm not seeing any immediately. Jade Elephant's also pretty tempting, but I think I can get by with just a gnarled. Man, that sucks. Was that really all it was in that void seed? Dang. Guess we could always just hit the portal. Or I can find more crates. Many more crates. All great items. This is going to ramp up my damage a lot as long as I can just get a few picks. I think ukulele or something right now. I think I accidentally tossed my null blitz sprite to an ally. Alright, should be good. Ukulele! And its music was electric. Get healed up. Clean up drone. Take my health. Equipment drone gets it next if he can survive long enough. What's damaging all these guys? go. No time to think. Oh, one of my healing drones. Sadness. Commencement. That's the name of it. Moon of Petrichor 5. I heard that, and I don't know how true this is. This could be speculation at best, but that Chris Christodoulou, his music actually had a direct impact on the layout of this map in particular. What's that sound effect when I pick that up, I wonder? I just saw a 1400 spawn down there. Did one of them fall off the map? There's so many enemies, holy! I'm dead. Oh, gnarled wood spray just in time! Warped echo gnarled wood spray combo saved my life. There's no pillars here. I'm gonna go over the Coliseum. Dang, no pillars in the Coliseum. I love the blood, like, double proc on the Coliseum. Cancel that fall damage. Yes. I don't know if we can win this one. Blur design just keeps, I know it's supposed to like bump you around a bit, but like okay, I'm gonna go hit other pillars. That is not working. That is really tempting. We're hitting that. I didn't even lose that much important stuff. Please don't tell me it took my ukulele. It didn't take my ukulele. Let's go. I've never been bounced around this much by these pillars. Like, it usually bounces you a little bit. Look at this. I'm only charging it 2% at a time. This is just silly. Okay, there's 4 other pillars. I have to go try those because, like, I'll be here all day trying to charge those things. Pillars of Soul aren't too bad. Oh, it took my Ho-Po feather. That's what it took. Still not a horrible trade. These pillars are great. They don't do anything. Oh, I know why it's so hard to charge. It's because its size is half the size. It doesn't usually knock me all the way out of it. I usually spend a lot more time in it. That's diabolical. Oh, there's 3 pillars of mass, so this shouldn't be as bad. Pillar designs aren't even that bad. They're usually up against something, but those 2 pillars of design were completely away from anything. Why is Mithrix keeping that escape ship here, though? Why wouldn't he want it to leave? Suffer, Worm. Like, if he doesn't want vermin invited into his home, then why is he just keeping our ship here? Fungus, go off. Fungus! My drone bumped me and stopped my fungus. That's unfortunate. Oh, that pillar doesn't exist. Alright. I don't know if Pillars of Soul will be up here. New pod. I do like the Pillar of Soul though, because while it can be arguably one of the harder ones to charge, it charges the fastest. but its zone gets smaller. Done. Now, where's that new pod? Shape 5? No, is that long-standing solitude? That's huge. I could actually just outscale Mithrix. Wild pool. Okay. I am gonna go up and see Mithrix, but something I've always wanted to do first. I think if I go down here, I can pet the frog. I've only pet the frog before defeating Mithrix, but I wonder if it does something if I pet it before him. Reminds me of that item called Purity. Sounds like two brothers chasing glass frogs in the sun. I wonder why it's always raining on Petrichor 5. Oh, the moon. There's still like the teleporter particles back here too. Can I go back? Last frog's not here. I also do notice that no enemies spawn in here. Now I will note, aside from my pluripotent larvae and a safer spaces, I have no way of surviving a direct hit from Mithrix. Actually, I have multiple ways. I'm just a liar because I just realized, oh, aside from the 2 items I have that do this thing, yeah, I do have a few different ways to survive direct hits from him. I have safer spaces, but then I also have Warped Echo. Warped Echo combined with Fungus and a heal from this little gnarled wood sprite might be enough to keep me alive. Bring it on, Mithrix. I'll never beg, not to the likes of you. He can't even one-shot my drones? Because I just realized this guy usually does one-shot drones. Like, he does a lot of damage to him. So, the survivor that just manipulates drones, do they just cry when he hits them? Oh, he gets damage reduction while he's doing that, and he also cleanses him up of debuff. I see. Jeez. I noticed I've gone a bit quiet for the last 20 minutes of this. I'm just trying to lock in with all. Hey, you can't just start summoning those things in here. That's not fair. Oh, yeah, I leveled up because I killed him. This is gonna hurt. He's breaking my turrets, no! Well, that's the only one I can't revive. Now is the time for fear. I've noticed your hammer started glowing. Should I be concerned about that? Safer spaces, my beloved. I'm gonna pick up those items right after he takes all these. Cool that they actually also leave my body in there. Pack it up, Mithrix. It's over, buddy. Unless you manage to hit me with my own kinetic dampener. It's kind of sad. So was his presence the only thing holding the void at bay? Stopping it from invading, I guess. It really shows just how strong he was if he was able to keep them back. Hell, that's probably the only reason they started invading the planet. If this was Mithrix' domicile, not by choice, of course, because it seems like Providence kind of just straight him out here, then it would make sense that when Providence perished, that's when the Void would have started trying to make its way into their world. Why is my camera doing that? Not staying center. Oh, that's a very small zone. There we go. Didn't use my pluripotent larvae once. Quite a sad ending. Featuring the music of Chris Christodoulou. That's right. Not made by him. It is his. At least I hope he retained the rights to it. It seems like he definitely did. But it doesn't say featuring the music of the other artists, which I guess, yeah, they're not the ones that made 99% of the music in this game, but I hope that Chris's lack of involvement with the current soundtracks updated to the game was his choice. I hope it was his choice. Because if it's like another Minecraft situation where they're refusing to let the guy work on the project because of his desires to own the rights to his own work, then I'd be very sad. Very cool seeing so much concept art for stuff in the game, though. Like the original clay guys. But I haven't seen any, like, clay guys in this game. Not the original ones, at least from the first game. Most of the clay guys you see are, like, variations, but not the original, like, sword, shield clay guy, I don't think, at least. Void Fiend, I think. Glass Dagger, which became Blown Glass, I think. Oh, Void Items Pods, I think. Those are very silly drawings for the blind guys. Oh, that was art for the Heretic on the right. Yeah, that's the Void Fiend. So there is concept art for the DLCs here. So if we keep scrolling, because I think I saw stuff for the Secret of the Storms as well. If it keeps scrolling up Sulfur Fields, and Void Jailer, will we see the new DLCs? I think that's the island where the Halcyon got stranded. chef. Oh, that's the Helmet Hatchery on the right. I don't know what that big blue one is on the left. That might just be a chunk of land in the Void Seeds. Like the Void Dimension you go to in the Void DLC. Providence's temple. But then who constructed that temple to Providence? Maybe the false sun? Or maybe he made it himself? Because you fight the false sun there, but that's after the false sun has been tampered with. I think that was the secret on the left a little bit ago. Oh, production babies. Cool. Petrichor 5 Preservation Society. Wait, what? I need to look that up. Oh, wait. Don't let me obscure that. God, I love the music so much. Like that dramatic swell just to have a sad tone. It's a nice version of Expectations. And it really does fill the moment too, because it's a melancholic moment. It's like, it's happy, but it's also sad. I'm guessing because we only see Providence at the start of the first game, when you beat the first game, you find out that he had a brother. It's interesting how Providence and Mithrix, they're kind of similar, but also different. Like, if I'm understanding the characters correctly, Providence wants to he wants to have all of his creatures and keep them safe. He wants to preserve life naturally on the planet. But these characters are coming here to exploit it, it seems like. And then Mithrix definitely wants to. Mithrix doesn't think that any life except godly lives like him and his brother. I guess the best analogy you could use to refer to the difference between them and the other creatures is they are basically gods. Especially if they have the ally to create and take life. Ally fall damage plus 100% and lethal. That is awful. Loader be like, so nothing then. Because if I'm understanding this correctly, man, if we could get an entry for Providence in this game. Wait, that means is that how we learn his name? Because I never met Providence in the first game. I've only heard of his name from other people. Is Providence an entry in the first game when you beat him? Oh, I have to beat him in the first game now. So this just means you haven't seen those creatures. This means you've seen those creatures and this means you haven't beat those creatures. This means you've seen those creatures and beat them, and this means that you've beat them and got their log. So Mithrix. What happened, though? What happened between them two? So they experimented with gravity wells to see what happened, but this sets an interesting bit of tone, difference in character between the two. I'm guessing worms is an analogy. Because, you know, Mithrix sees all the life forms aside from him, his brother, and his immediate family is beneath them. Everyone else is beneath them. They are but mere worms. Mithrix has no empathy for anyone he sees as inferior, and that is most everybody except for him and his immediate family. Interesting that a self-proclaimed king of nothing would dress like this, though. Like, it seems like he's very vain because he wears a bunch of jewelry, but then he doesn't have anything covering up the rest of his body. Is that because he is vain, but he's a warrior first and foremost? His head looks weird under that helmet, but he does just have the big eye, and then it's a helmet. So it's a regular humanoid-ish sized head, and then the helmet is just something he wears to protect his brain case. But it does give an interesting identity, like triangle shape, round bottom, and then eye in the middle. And that's him. And you can even see the outline of the eye here as well, because like this shape kind of still sells it as an eye. I've seen the Spotify like card art though for what Providence looks like though, and he looks very cool. He has a different shape to his head, but they both read as like being at least related in the way that their heads are so ornately dressed and feature the singular eye in the middle. A really nice. I've been calling him Halcyon, but that's his name. So obviously he looks very similar to Stone Golem, but he appears to be made out of precious minerals. I'm assuming gold. And it's life-giving at that. Like he's covered in vegetation. Now, I'm assuming this is a creation of Providence. Heck, I think it even has a similar head shape to them. So it's at the very least, I think this is made by Providence because it's the only one of the creations that I think was made by the two brothers that has. Because I don't think Providence only ever made the false sun, and then Aurelia Knight. Was Aurelia Knight his experiment when he was trying to create something like the false sun? It wasn't exactly what he was looking for, so he locked it up inside that giant gilded paradise. Your creators have scorned you, so both of them. Okay, so the Halcyon seed is actually Halcyon, but the metals he's been donated make up his body. So he has followers that give him rare metals, and that's how he gets his form. Let's see, I think there was like... What's the one you summon when... Halcyonite, that's what it is. What does I mourn and celebrate your loss mean? Maybe he knows that his creators are gone, because he says he can no longer feel their presence. I mourn and celebrate your loss. So maybe he mourns and celebrates the passing of his creators because, oh, good, the people that captured me and imprisoned me are gone, but I'm sad because, you know, they were my creators. They didn't do the really funny font in this note page like the others. I wonder why. So these are Mithrix's designs, and Mithrix is showing his brother how to create. So his brother did help him make some of these, but that's primarily while he's learning to create. What he really wanted to make was stuff like Aurelianite. No dance, no song. These guardians do not need soul. Well, yeah, they just follow your orders. They're not really living. They're just automatons. You give them instructions and they follow. Because you've given them no soul. But Providence didn't want that. This bears striking resemblance to the others, but I do think this is just a native creation of the planet. Maybe inspired the design for Aurelianite that Providence made. Because again, it features the specialized head shape. This just happens to have a tall head shape. They're buried in the planet, and they only emerge when approached. Whether the creators' weapons or as guardians, what happened to the creators? Further analysis of the planet will hopefully shed some light on these mysteries. I'm assuming these guys were made as guardians of the planet and its denizens, set to emerge whenever foreign creatures came in and started damaging the planet like us. And they probably were made by Providence. I wonder, can I read the survivor page for the heretic? And her thoughts were interrupted by a crystalline blade. Mithrix doesn't use a blade. He uses a hammer. I've seen pictures of Providence. He uses a blade. So whatever the heretic did, it was so unbelievably... Well, maybe not even unbelievably. Like, it doesn't seem like you have to do much to get on Providence's bad side. Providence seems like a nice and caring fellow, but do not make the mistake. He only cares about the people of his own planet. Everybody else he doesn't care about, and if they come to his planet, will be dealt with swiftly and harshly. But Providence appears to have the ability to teleport, which is interesting. Oh yeah, here's where it mentions his name. Oh wait, I can take a look at her items. I think if we take a look at the Halcyon seed, I'll be able to see more lore for Halcyon as well. Ah, I see. So this is him observing the construct for the first time.
Return the design to me. I see. This is the interesting thing. He treats his brother better than most, but he's not treating him as an equal. I appreciate how much empathy well, not even empathy. I don't know if I can call it that. He's not empathizing with his brother at all. He's just treating him like another servant. He gives him more permissions, but that doesn't necessarily mean he treats him better than anybody else. Because, like, if you observe everything logically from Mithrix's point of view, we're disregarding any empathy for his brother at all, then he's kind of right. Like, oh man, you made the design wrong. Yeah. You put in too much soul. Yeah. Now it won't only dutifully serve us. Yeah. So it's like, if your goal was to make a guardian that just stands watch, then yes, Providence has failed. But that's not what Providence was trying to make. He doesn't care about what Providence was trying to make. And he doesn't care that if Providence wants to make more things like this. But it's interesting. They acknowledge that this is the first creation they've made that has a chance to threaten them. And he says he will prepare one of the vaults for it to be sealed away. So they have... It may not entirely be another dimension, but these places he refers to as vaults are different realms they can only access via their teleporters. Not even a teleporter. The only way to get here is through a Halcyon shrine. So wait, is it just another dimension? And the only reason why people can get in and out is because his followers were building shrines to him that allowed him to connect with the outside world. There's probably it probably is like a physical construct for a vault they've made that has some weird dimensional jazz going on inside that prevents you from actually reaching the walls, so to speak. One of the vaults. That's wild. So I'm guessing that Mithrix and his lineage that he hails from, that's probably what the Helmand Hatchery is. Wait, now I think about it. Because if you take a look, you can see places where it looks like they used to live and explore. Strange tools of silver, but that's one of the things they built their weapons out of. Starseed thorns and dried key fruit. Yeah, this is where they used to live. So they're living in the remains of a giant lava worm? Maybe. Or some creature. Spiked obsidian ball inside and pats it. What? Go to worm is to take the mace to the surface. The obsidian cools in a shaft of putrid moonlight, collecting them. For the handle, he wraps a rod of silver in dried skins. Finally, he seals the obsidian weapon with a golden T emblem.
But I don't think there's a golden T on Mithrix's hammer. Doesn't look like this either. Who was that weapon for? Because no one apologizes here. That had to have been Providence doing that, right? Maybe apologizing for sealing his brother away on the moon. Because my current headcanon is that he stranded his brother on the moon so he would no longer be a threat to any of his creations. Like, maybe he wasn't planning on doing that permanently. Maybe he was just planning on doing it temporarily while he figured out a way for everyone to be happy, but then he got interrupted by the ship crashing down. Well, to be fair, he brought it down. Where's Mithrix? What does this hammer look like again? Because, like, most of what he described reminds me of Mithrix's hammer, but there's no golden T emblem on it. So who did he make that hammer for? Who's he trying to apologize to? If I went and explored the stages, I might be able to find out. I wish that I could, like, go through the stages in creative mode on these. And I'm guessing all these teleporters are set up because these are all points of interest for them. Like, these are all different places on the planet, or maybe even on other planets, but I assume this is all on the same planet. They're all places within view of the moon, at least, most of the time. There are different places they need to get to quickly, I assume to gather resources initially for Mithrix's work. This has eye sockets, so it can't be the magma worm. The magma worm's eyes aren't actually eyes. They're creatures that attach to their head. It's an obsidian weapon with a golden T emblem. His gift, no, his apology. I kind of want to take a look at what... Oh, man, I wish there was a model for Providence in this game so I could take a look at him. So they're referring to... They're referring to these teleporters as gates. A gate. Yes, a stone gate. But there's non-massive doors in this place. Wait, did they know about Earth? No, Mithrix doesn't care for Earth. But a planet of water and dirt consuming itself, that sounds most like the humans than anything. I don't think Petrichor 5... Well, Petrichor 5 has to have a lot of water on it. What if I met you on one of these extinct planets? What if I caused the calamities you strive to avoid? What if I reap destruction? Because the grander design he's talking about, at this point, I'm like, again, I'm assuming they hail from Petrichor 5. And Mithrix got to commencement because he was working on a grander design, a gate that would allow them to travel from planet to planet instantaneously. That primordial teleporter. The planet you trail of water and dirt, you fear their stability, that they will consume themselves. Maybe we'll go there first. Again, that sounds like Earth, but why would they care about Earth? And more so, how would Providence know about Earth? But Providence seems to have the ability to travel fairly far in limited capacity. He was able to teleport to a ship in orbit above his planet, so... But maybe he just did that with the help of Mithrix's gates. But he did it again to the heretic, huh? Well, that voice asking if you want to live forever is... That's one of the digital... That's like the... Whatever, the digital super ego or whatever it's called. They sealed it off here in hopes that it would never escape, but they can't be surprised that it grew to resent them either way. They jailed it, and it didn't do anything wrong. Nude altar. So this is interesting. It seems like after all of what Mithrix and Providence did, currently, every time you play through the run, Mithrix is still alive. I don't know if you can kill the Newt, and I don't know if you get anything for killing the Newt. I know that if you try to damage him too many times, he kicks you out, but he does have a health bar, and he can take damage. So maybe if you do a big enough burst of damage instantly, you can kill him. But this is the interesting thing. The Newt... He seems to be working on lunar creations of his own design, because, like, he said he would continue working on his tinctures. I'm guessing that not all of the lunar items were made just by Mithrix. Hell, some of them, maybe none of them were. Like, some of them were, obviously, like the beads of fealty, but, like, it seems like a lot of these were made by the... Like, I believe that this Hellfire tincture was made by the Nude. So he's testing this with some of his pod mates, maybe? Because I'm assuming these are names. They're each igniting themselves with different Hellfire tinctures and measuring how long it lasts. And then the final person that tries it, the one making the tincture, it self-ignites and measures their time, and they say perfect. Weird description for an item. This feels like something the Newt wrote. That's a sad one. But a smiling face from another stream. Feels like something written by the Newt. Let's try Defiant Gouge. I mean, understandable, justified crash out. If you make art and then someone else decides for themselves your art is not beautiful enough and they take it upon themselves to, quote, fix it, yeah, I think that demands some eldritch horror type punishment. Shards of marble constricting around his leg. I really do hope that was him getting turned into the next statue. Deserved. Sigebold the Drunken. The ratios are simple. It should be quite fun. Okay, so this is either... The only one who's mentioned ratios so far has been Mithric. So it's either Mithric or someone else who dabbles in masterwork, which it seems like the... Newt does, but this is two people talking to each other. So it does seem like these are a combination of Mithric's words and maybe the words of the Newt. I mean, I want to see the first piece of it. Let's see. Her betrayal and her lies. She was scattered across the moon, so that's why they're lunar items. But the newt, it seems like the newt either makes trips to the moon, or the newt... Interesting. He's either making trips to the moon, or he's getting items from the moon somehow. The evisceration of Kurskon, the Heretic 3. 3 and 4. Wait, does it go 3, 4, 5, 6? No. Wait, where's 1? I want to see the eviscerations of Kurskon, the Heretic 1. Wait, no. I'm gonna do another run, by the way. I'm just getting... I love the lore in this game a lot. Let's see. So that's 1 ability, 2 ability, 3 ability, and 4 ability. So there's no more parts of her to read about. What was in the first 3 logs? Where can I read the first 3 logs? Maybe one of them is over here. No, this is just a actual story about her. Oh man, that's messed up. So is this telling the story between Mithrix and Providence? Funny. Doesn't look like either of them, though. And yeah, how the hell do you know that? Messed up. So this corpse bloom grows from death. It grows from unalive characteristics of a body, but it doesn't bring it back to life. It just brings it back to one piece. Anyways, I want to do another Eclipse run. I could spend here all day theorizing about what happened between Mithrix and Providence, but maybe that'll be another time. Let's... There's so many different cool characters to play. I kind of want to play a different character, but also Commando's so much fun. If I had to put it on a list of characters I would most easily win this with instantly, though, it probably... Yeah, I'm already level 3 on the False Sun. False Sun's my go-to. Let's play Commando. False Sun's so unbelievably busted. Oh, are we just resistant to damage? Are we immune as long as we're in this pod? Seems like it. My eyes are not used to looking at all this. I got too locked in on reading. Already gunner turret. Yeah, I'll hit that. It'll help me make money. I see a tri-tip dagger in there. No, it's a crowbar. Alright, because I was going to take the medkit anyways, probably. Oh, there you are. Crit classes. Yes, please. I want to try to go for like an all damage run this time. Anything that can give me damage, I'm going to opt for that. Oh, a crit on that. 116 damage. Not bad. This is always very chill in the beginning. I like this. I like this game a lot. It's such a relaxing game. That's probably helped by the fact that I'm playing Commando. It's not necessarily easy, but it's a very relaxed playstyle, especially in the early. I think I'm done yapping about the project I mentioned earlier. I think I'm just gonna chill and relax. Just enjoy this. Get lost in the moment of risk and rain. Risk and rain. Not risk or of rain. Risk and rain. Tomorrow's forecast says 80% chance precipitation. I guess you could call that risk of rain. I mean, it makes sense. Halcyon is the enemy of his creators because they did this to him. So we're donating rare metals to him to help add to him, and this helps us get closer to him. And by donating enough times to him sequentially, we're able to not only meet up with him, well, at least have a chance to, but we can free him. least. That'll be a lot of money. God, I hate those. No, I might die here. Oh, healing drone? That'll help out a lot, actually. Alright, well, that guy chases me around. Let's see if I can find any more crates. Mooring him nearby that gunner drone will help. I could probably just kill him in here. He is ascending. Alright, give me some of this money, please. Alright, I should have enough money for the rest of the stage, so I just need to run and loot now. Probably be done with it at about 8 minutes, which is rough. Sail star, double jump, and some gas. That's AoE damage. Gonna hit this now, take advantage of that 20% damage amp I have the bosses. I better hurry up and kill this guy before he kills me. Nice Genesis loop. I love that item. Oh, gasoline is about to come in very handy here. Yes, all that damage. Yes. One of the most satisfying things you can do on Commando. And medkit does so much work here. I have double medkit. Dang. Okay, I see a Shrine of Chance and multiple crates over there potentially. Oh, we got my turret. That's why it's so much right. Oh, guillotine this early too? Sheesh. Gunner turret, I will take that. Actually, I don't need to worry about that. I have enough money. Void Cradle. Oh man, I just completely missed this section of the map. Alright, let's see. We'll hit this a couple times. One item. 2 items. Gubo Jr. Get him, Gubo. Void Cradle. Oh man, I really don't like poly loot. I'm just gonna skip it. Yeah, it's probably good for overall single target DPS or something, but I just like having my AoE DPS, okay? I guess we can take a look. Yeah, no, it's just not for me. God, 11 minutes on the first stage. That is pain. I do have a decent amount of items for it, though. Especially including that Sail Star. Wait, that's a scrapper. Alright, so here's the plan. I'm going to use the Sail Star on the Rusty Lockbox, so that's the first thing I look for. After that, we hit any 3D printers we can get that seem good. Honestly, 12 items first map, pretty darn good. Let's hope I don't get stuck with one of those weird Alloy Collection maps, though. Abandoned Aqueduct. Okay, I know this map. Oh, that lockbox is going to be impossible to find on this map. Medkits? Yeah. I'm getting my lunar coins up, though, because I'm clearing runs, so that's nice. Trying to combat, not bad. I think I just will have to use my Sail Star. I can't wait forever to try to get a double lockbox. The lockbox doesn't even have a guaranteed legendary in it. Alrighty, here's the plan. Hit this, go back, hit that, go over and hit those two. Got it? Good. Movement. Love to see it. There goes my movement. Another drone. Jailer drone. That was expensive. Sheesh. Counter drone. Missile drone. I'll take it. And there's my lockbox. Let's go see what's in there. Legendary. Soulbound Catalyst? I'll take it. Oh, goat hoof. Yes. So glad I got that scrap earlier. I knew where Scrapper was. I turned that potion into another goat hoof. Big damage. Void Cradle over there. Don't be another poly loot, please. I'm gonna cry. Pluripotent Larvae. Could save the run. That's the thing, though, is... Ooh, Happiest Mask. 2 legendary items. Sheesh, that was just from a regular crate? Another drone. Another missile drone. Okay. I'm liking what I'm pulling. Not a lot of raw items, but the items I did get were pretty good. Got like 5 items from these things, I think. 6. Grab these med kits and we'll hit that teleporter. So what I'm hearing is I heal up my entire health bar now. 5% per stack. I have 7 stacks. That's 35% of my health bar. Gasoline's about to start going off. Honestly, leaving those little like those little tubes that spawn the pod guys, doesn't even seem that bad because they explode and damage nearby enemies. A lot of drones though. Minion damage is gonna be big this game. Look at all the friends I got. With Happiest Mask, if I can see any lanterns, I should definitely be prioritizing that. Oh. Yes, please. Oh yeah, my med kits, I forgot. Oh, and my potions. Oh. My trailer drone just disabling them from moving? That's interesting. Egocentrism, no thank you. Alright, let's hope this doesn't get me killed. Oh! Oh, I'm such a big fan of that, so I think that's the first time I procced it. Which, you know, good or bad, depending on how you view it. grab the key. Now, what are these? Hiker's boots and fungus. I like fungus. Leeching seed and repulsion armor. Okay, I got a lot tankier. I do like that. Bolstering lantern, as predicted, or as hoped for at least. Alright, let's keep running around and find more items. Weapons crate, I do need more damage. Squid polyp. I would be lying if I said I wasn't a little bit disappointed by that squid polyp, though, because overall, it's not the worst item, but it's kind of a sad item to get when there's so many on-hit combat weapons. Like, that's... Like, a weapons crate not dropping something on hits, pretty unlikely. Speaking of on-hit... I don't think I checked over here yet. Item. Fungus. Alright, where's the teleporter at? Just realized I don't immediately know. There it is. There's so many mending birds. That's why it hurts so bad. I forgot fall damage is doubled, and it's lethal. I gotta be careful. Alright, now I can actually damage him. I keep stepping into his needle. That's gonna kill me. Alright, now this guy scares me a little bit. Shatter Spleen. another source of lead. I like that. Stop healing them. Knocked it off. Oh, done. Oh, I didn't hit it. Did I? There it is. Pistol Depths. I do like the color palette on this one. I don't like the map itself physically nearly as much as the other stage 4s, but the color palette's very satisfying. Wait a minute. I have Sail Star. I need to save that for the legendary chest. Okay, this is going to be tricky then, because I can't get outscaled. I don't know if I have the time to wait for the legendary chest. Let's run around. Maybe we can find items in multi-shops that'll help us compensate. Like over there. On hit damage, on command damage buff, I'll take it. How much are our equipment cooldowns being lowered? By 4 seconds. Oh, kills reduce equipment cooldown. I see. It's not a flat reduction. Alright, just time to train. Trying to combat. I mean, I kind of need the money, so... I've got to be more mindful of that fall damage. More attack speed, I'll take it. I got insta-got, but wait. I come back. I have 2 newly hatched Zoea, which sucks because I don't get boss items anymore, but it means I'll have more allies at least. And I can instantly kill any enemy now. I also apply collapse now. I do like that. There he goes. Alright, now let's get out of here. is it? I know the cave is around here somewhere. I think it's under here. Yep. I don't know how much this is going to cost. I may have collected entirely way too much money. Not enough. Barely halfway there, actually. Oh, there's my old corpse. Oh, that's a lot of money. I think one of them detained the big guy. Two legendary items. Aegis and Runic Cleanse. I don't know if that was worth the time I spent here. Oh, well, I can start looting properly now, though. Oh, wait, I got Runic Lens? I vastly underestimated what that does. I completely forgot. I am a fool. Also, Volcanic Egg. I think that's iframes. I need that. When did I get backup mag? Oh, it's a temp item. Alright, I need to start grabbing everything I can. I need to kill enemies now. We're scaling hard now, though. I do think waiting for that double pull was worth. Maybe not. Jesus Christ. I say maybe not, as I almost die entirely to my own foolishness. Wait a minute. I can actually get these! I should grab at least 2 or 3. I can lose one of the bands. And one more. Oh, my leech seed. It's fine, though. I have ways of healing. I don't think you guys are immediately... No, you're not. Alright, I'm gonna try to make my way for the portal now. 3 ukuleles is game-changing. I'm down my larvae, but I think I got a lot stronger on this map. Red whip, nice. That's more movement. I've got to respect fall damage. I've not been doing that. That's just a crazy pull. Potion. They come in handy if I don't get one shot. All of the allies. My rusty lockbox, but I don't have a key. It got corrupted. That's rough. I've got big damage now, though. effects deal quadruple damage. Nice. I like it. What did that much damage to me? Do I have light scrap? I don't. Otherwise, I take the sticky bomb. Alright, Common Hatchery. Well, that makes eating money easy, at least. Yeah, I think I'm just gonna start hitbox because I don't have time to wait and farm. I don't think I need to hit that. This combat shrine seems like a bad idea. I think I'm gonna get more than enough money. Just trying to combat though. I can't see that much trying to combat. I do have to deal with those lava worms though. They're gonna kill all my drones. I killed myself with fall damage. Are you kidding me? Oh man, that is probably the saddest way to go out. Oh, that's depressing. Oh man. Oh well, back to reading item logs forever. Yeah, minion damage dealt was high that game. Really high. I do want to read about the pearl. Well, let's check out the newly hatched Zoea as well. So I'm guessing this guy got infested by this newly hatched Zoea. Do not be mistaken, his influence is still dark, despite how beautiful your pearl is. So cleansing pools do permanently turn lunar items into good items. Well, pure items. But they say, do not be mistaken, no matter how beautiful your pearl is, it is not from a place of kindness. It cannot be. Does this betray, whoever's speaking about Mithrix, does this betray what they think of him? Does he actually have kindness in him? I like to think he was showing his brother kindness. I'll do one more run, but this run's going to be a false sun run. Now I really want to do a false sun. If it's a false sun run, you know I'm just here to turn my brain off. I like this design more because his head like retains more of Providence's look. Oh, never mind. Medkit, yes please. Make me think here. Say no to some movement, especially if I'm going to be going for Stone Flux, which we all know I'm going Stone Flux. A legendary item, Bottled Chaos. Wow. Eclipse Light's pretty good. On this guy, at least. I think casting your ult will instantly give you Eclipse Light proc. Let's find out, shall we? Alright, now that's because my right click came off cooldown, but let's see. Does it spend both? It does not. Interesting. Jeez. I think that's what the definition of smite looks like. That was a very sick jump for what it was worth. Ragdolls. Healing. I don't really want to knock one off. Oh. Just damage me. Give me all the money, please. Free on accumulator. That'll be funny. think I'm just about ready for the boss fight. More movement, yes please. Let's see how easily that boss falls. Hello. Hi, Faraday Spur. That's just more movement. I'm gonna charge it all the way up. I'm tanky enough. I can just face tank all this. I got nothing better to do while I wait for the teleporter to charge. Besides, it will be immensely satisfying. Let's do it. Well, that was disappointing. Affiliate Sanctuary. I wasn't able to find any lunar items in the first one, though. Sadness. Who constructed all these monuments here, though? Maybe there were more of their kind, because Providence and Mythrix at least references they had a mother of sorts that birthed them before they passed. I'm just curious if there were more of their kind. Cautious slug, nice. Oh my goodness, I just realized because I have this, I don't ever have to expend that charge. I can just keep using it. That's the only downside to Faraday Spurs. It doesn't usually stay up constantly because most people have to jump to get around in this game. Not me. I'm not seeing the icon for the nude altar. Poor beetle. That was very targeted. Snap. One of my favorites. Ooh, Void Cradle. And a Bobble, sure. You can kind of take whatever on the False Sun, to be honest. It's all good. Items are items. But that's a really good item. Kill him. Slap. An accumulator kind of does big damage. And I make big damage, even bigger damage with my, I was going to call it ult. Yeah. Just going to stare at you. Why are you guys attacking me anyway? Wasn't I like your protector slash guardian? Probably because I turned on them because of all the lunar tampering, but now I'm enemies of both Providence slash Mithrix and the planet, so survivors are really the only people that they can find kinship with now, I guess. I'm gonna check Discord real quick. People are messaging me, and if I feel, I'm gonna feel bad if I, oh, my phone just restarted. Sick. Oh, I think it actually just died. Even more sick. Fine, I'll play the game. God, it's ridiculous that on this game mode you can AFK that long on False Sun. Let me take a look. Oh, just a message from my brother. kind of want to finish this run, but also, yeah, I'm not super attached to it. Because I think I might have to go. Oh, I just said I'm not very attached to it. You can't do that to me. Oh, man. It's fine. There'll be more. Bit of an abrupt place to end stream, but I think I gotta go, so fine. Yeah, I'm not super attached to any particular run on Fall Sun, because most runs on Fall Sun are good. It's kind of hard to have a bad one, assuming you get his secondary loadout. But anyways, I think I'll be done streaming for here for now. I'm going to work on some music, maybe make another painting. That's always fun. I made a cool little painting of the stone golems, and that was fun. Maybe I'll do the survivors. Commando would be a fun one. I think Commando's gonna be who I go for next. For now though, I probably won't. I don't have plans to stream again tonight, this weekend. Because I'm officially on my weekend. I might, but there's no guarantees about that. What I am planning to do though is get some writing done tonight, and hopefully tomorrow maybe I'll do that. I'm trying to just chill and boot up a couple hack and slash games, play them in short bursts while writing out my thoughts. But again, that's all up in the air. I have no concrete plans for anything this weekend. I'm gonna try to fix that tonight though, because I've noticed when I don't make plans, I don't do things, and I don't do things on my weekends, and now I'm sad that I didn't do things on my weekends. So I'm gonna work on that. Long term, I do want to keep streaming. This is a lot of fun. Even if nobody's watching, this is a fun way for me to enjoy games, chronicle my thoughts and feelings on them in real time, and I think I'm going to keep doing it. So, the next game that I'll probably play, I want to play Night in the Woods and just go through the motions with that, because I'm currently in a position in my life where I feel like I'm very similar to where Mae Borowski is in her life when she's in that story, so I plan on doing that sometime this summer. Not summer yet, but we're getting close, like a month or two out. I also want to do Chrono Trigger and the other RPGs without Final Fantasy, but I'm really having a lot of fun with the hacks and slashes. So I might just start up Devil May Cry 4 next. Those are the most likely games I'll tackle next, though. I feel like I got another game that I was really excited to try. I got time to check my Steam library. Let's see. Oh yeah, Metal Gear Rising: Revengeance. I want to beat that on super, super hard difficulty. And maybe do Donut County. I heard a lot of good things about that game. Not Donut County. There was a version of Donut County where you basically do it in your backyard. Donut County is a much older game. But I might still do that. Show off some smaller indie games that I'm a really big fan of. Bomb Rush Cyberpunk. Actually, that might be the next one I do. I think I might stream again this weekend after I get some work done and do Bomb Rush Cyberpunk. I'm really excited to try that one out. So, Bomb Rush Cyberpunk, Metal Gear Rising: Revengeance. Those are the two main ones I'm looking at playing. We'll see what happens, but those are the two big names. Yeah, I think those are good plans. Alrighty, well, I'm going to end stream here. As much as I would love to, I could listen to the song all day. I've got stuff I need to go do. So, bye.